like, what
Wow.
the hell? Put on my Apple Watch, my heart was 135,
Oh,
Oh, wow.
which is like what it would be if you were like running a marathon.
Yeah.
I got dressed. I called my girlfriend. I was like, listen, I don't need you to come. I just need somebody to know we're each other's emergency contact because we're both single. We both live alone, right?
mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just need you to know I'm going to be at the ER. I go, I have full blood work up, and they're like, well, it could be your thyroid because sometimes that causes palpitations. Thyroid levels were fine. They did everything, EKG, nothing. PCP, go on a heart monitor for 30 days. Did that. Every time it happened, push a button. Are you resting? Are you exercising? Nothing. Cardiologist. I'm like, I don't even have a cardiologist. I've never been to a cardiologist. Transthoracic echocardiogram, which is like an ultrasound of your heart. And he was like, ma'am, your heart is in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing we could come up with is menopause. And then about maybe 5 months into this, when I started to think I was crazy, or maybe I was just having anxiety related heart palpitations, which is not my personality. And I've never been like an anxious kind of person. I'm more like, yeah, whatever. So I'm watching a video on Instagram. It was Oprah and Michelle Obama, and they were talking about heart palpitations as a symptom of menopause that nobody ever talks about. And when I tell you the light bulb went on in my head, I took a deep breath, like woosah. I'm not crazy.
Oh,
Okay.
you're not.
So
But
on
when
a
I tell friends that, they're like, never heard of it before.
In Eastern medicine, we actually ask about that
Really?
because so when we ask if there's palpitations, we actually ask if it's at rest or with activity
Mm-hmm.
because it tells us which organ systems are
Yeah.
at play.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they are at rest, we start to look at the liver's energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time with the heart's energy in the sense of, how is there, could the heart potentially for this person have some vulnerability? So when I speak about it through the lens of Eastern medicine, we're talking more energetics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there are, and then there will be other things that I'm asking about too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right, like the sweats, like can happen for some it doesn't. Sometimes it's more, it's for some it's like hot flashes where they're like during the day, but then there's others they don't have anything during the day but they'll sweat at night, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and even then when they're sweating it's different types of sweat. So then we'll ask, like, is it sweat, is it oily, is it watery, did it stop when you woke up or did it continue? And we start looking at urinary patterns, and then like in this case, when if there were the palpitations as well, that is where I'm looking, like, was it with rest or was it with activity? And then
Mm-hmm.
like what was going on, what time, and if it's at night it's versus during the day, and then what could you have eaten, like, so then those are things that we look at to see, all right, what is really going on and what is real, how are they really playing with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it tells us a difference between, is this a liver heart issue or a lung heart issue? And then we put that against the other things that you might be reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's a beautiful thing to me. It doesn't get talked about as much, but there's a special vessel that's called the Baumai vessel, and it connects the heart to the uterus. Now, even though we speak about these organs, like, and some people would say, well, mine was taken out, and that goes for like the spleen, it goes for the gallbladder too. We still see things that pop up with these related organ systems. So we still look at the energetics as if they are still there. But what'll happen is there's this vessel that connects those two, connects the heart to the uterus. And so if you can think about, man, well, yeah, when there were things that I either might have been stressed about or I got upset about, and then all of a sudden your cycle, your menstrual cycle, like changed, it might have shifted,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it could have been shorter, it could have been longer. And then it's like the communication of the effect on the heart to the uterus. And then it was affecting the menstrual cycle and its expression. You go into menopause, that energy of the uterus is still there. The Baomai vessel is still there. The heart and its energy is still there. Right. So, like, a lot of the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of the heart is like this creativity, this inspiration, this passion, right? It's now getting redirected for many from channeling to human creation to now it's like life recreation of whatever it is, if it's hobbies, if it's like I was saying, transitioning to a new job or starting a business or something like that, which is why you see at this age all of a sudden they got brand new things they're all interested in.
Mhm.